The verdict on the Malegaon blast case of 2008 is out. And before I give you the details about the verdict, the reactions coming in, and the profile of the accused, here is a glance. Here's a quick glance at the basics of this case. So, when did this happen? This happened on the 29th of September 2008 at Bhikkhu Chowk, Malegaon. 6 people were killed, over 90 to 100 people were injured in that blast. And the trial, in fact, the charges were framed the starting of 2018, and the trial concluded on 19th of April 2025. Today is when the verdict was pronounced in this case, after, as I mentioned, the conclusion of the trial. What are the judicial concerns of the accused? All of them exonerated and acquitted. UAPA sanction defects, contaminated evidence, and procedural lapses. I'll explain all of this. In fact, let's first start. And about the acquittal, here are the 4 sharp points from the verdict. The first, of course, being the acquittal itself, that all 7 accused in the 2008 Malegaon blast case has been acquitted. The grounds for acquittal, as the court mentions, is lack of evidence, insufficient evidence, contaminated proof, procedural lapses. Now, if you take a closer look at it, what it basically means is that evidence was deficient. Remember, the court relies on evidence to clinch anybody's guilt. In this case, that corroborative evidence was found wanting. The third point is that there were legal faults identified in application of UAPA. UAPA, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, is one of the stringent law in this country against terrorism. That was applied. Now, this verdict says that the sanction orders for applying UAPA were legally defective, making it invalid in this case. The very application of UAPA was found questionable. And then, of course, the fourth point being that the court said that one is innocent until proven guilty. There is presumptive innocence in this case as well. Suspicion merely is not enough. Special Judge A.K. Lahoti said suspicion is not enough and reiterated that terrorism has no religion, but conviction cannot rest on moral evidence. In this context, it is also important for us to understand what is Abhinav Bharat, the terror outfit, quote unquote terror outfit associated with the Malegaon blast. Let me give you a few quick pointers to understand Abhinav Bharat, which has now come back in circulation because of this bit of news. Abhinav Bharat is allegedly a Hindu radical outfit accused of being ideological and operational base for the Malegaon 2008 blast conspiracy. According to investigators, it was a right-wing extremist group that promoted Hindutva-based militant nationalism, and several of the accused, including Lieutenant Colonel Shrikant Prasad Purohit, were alleged members of Abhinav Bharat. Now, with regards to the case and the verdict, let me put the connections in place and put things in perspective. The prosecution in this case claimed that Abhinav Bharat was involved in recruitment, arms procurement, and planning the Malegaon attack. However, during the trial, the NIA failed to clinch that. NIA failed to prove the involvement of Abhinav Bharat or direct linkage, and also failed to produce conclusive evidence tying the group's activities to the blast. So, this is critical to understand, and that, of course, has led to the acquittal of all accused. Also, the fact that this is a trust which was alleged to be a front was also questioned. It was reportedly registered as a charitable trust but operated as a covert cell discussing violent strategies against perceived quote unquote enemies of the nation. The group was alleged to have held meetings to plan these attacks, but the court rejected these claims. That's what is important in this context, as uncorroborated, unsubstantiated hearsay. So, in a way, there's a clean sheet to Abhinav Bharat if you interpret it like that, because the court is saying that there is nothing to corroborate those claims made by the prosecuting agency, which is the NIA in this case. And due to those procedural flaws and contradictory eyewitness testimonies, it does not stand in court that Abhinav Bharat was a terror organization. So the court has rejected that claim, those claims. Coming finally now to the 7 accused. Who were the accused? What were their alleged role in it? And what exactly is their current role in Indian politics, or what is their profile at the moment. Let's start with Pragya Singh Thakur. She was a former member of the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, which is the ABVP, later associated with Hindutva group. She's currently an MP with the BJP from Bhopal. She's been one since the year 2019. Her motorcycle was allegedly used in the blast. So, this motorcycle piece of evidence was something that was scrutinized very closely. And the defense claimed that she sold the motorcycle years before the attack and had no knowledge of any conspiracy whatsoever. So that is what Pragya Singh Thakur's lawyer argued. The second accused, Lieutenant Colonel Prasad Shrikant Purohit, he was a serving army officer in military intelligence at the time of his arrest, which is why his arrest made very big headlines, that being part of the military intelligence, here is a man involved in this conspiracy of 2008 blast. He's accused of helping the plan, and also he's accused of supplying RDX. The defense maintained that he infiltrated Abhinav Bharat as part of the military intelligence operation. No direct evidence of RDX linkage was proven. There was no direct evidence of that. Third accused, Sudhakar Chaturvedi, he is reportedly a Hindu religious activist close to Purohit. Allegations involved that he was involved in the logistics and ideation, in the strategizing and planning of the attacks. The defense claimed that he was completely framed, falsely accused. Police failed to prove his direct role in supply of explosives. Number 4, Ajay Rahirkar, treasurer of Abhinav Bharat. Allegation was that he is accused of funding the blast using trust funds and facilitated meetings of Abhinav Bharat. His defense is no financial trail or conclusive meeting records were presented by NIA to back those claims. So, where is the proof of those particular meetings which clinches his involvement? Those were missing, owing to which now he also has been acquitted. Ramesh Upadhyay, the fifth accused, retired army major. Allegation against him is he is accused of recruiting ex-servicemen and providing tactical support. His defense is that he denies involvement, claimed his presence at meetings was misinterpreted. Even his presence and association in Abhinav Bharat meetings could not be established and proven in court. The sixth accused, Sameer Kulkarni. So he is a former VHP and Abhinav Bharat associate, Vishwa Hindu Parishad and Abhinav Bharat associate. That is his background. Allegations against him was that he helped plan the attacks, again through strategy meetings. According to the defense, he attended meetings for cultural activities, and those have been misconstrued as meetings to conspire for a terror attack. Number 7, Sudhakar Dwivedi, Akaswami Amritanand Dev Tirth. Now, here is an individual who's a self-styled spiritual guru. He was linked to ideologues of Hindutva. Allegation against him is that he is the ideological motivator for this blast and is connected to Abhinav Bharat. The defense claimed that his involvement is not substantiated. The court found no material evidence of his planning or involvement. So Sudhakar Dwivedi also, by that logic, has been acquitted. The court, in fact, has ruled that the evidence was insufficient due to procedural lapses, but also says, and this is important, that there are conflicting witness statements. The witness corroboration was not foolproof, and that never holds in court. That will always make a case questionable. If the witnesses have contradictory or conflicting statements, that's precisely what seems to have happened, and that has led to the acquittal of all 7 accused in the Malegaon blast case.
First of all, I'm extremely grateful to all of you. I'm extremely grateful to the country and all those who stood by me and by us. I'm grateful to the judiciary for understanding the case and delivering justice to all of us. I only will say that during all this fight, all my friends, my colleagues, especially the armed forces, my army, the way they stood by me, I have no words to express my gratitude towards all of them. We are a great country. I expect and I wish that everyone should contribute positively towards it. Malais are over, should not be there. Let's be forward looking. We are a developing nation.
सबसे पहले तो यही कहेंगे यतो धर्मोस्ततो जयः। आज धर्म की जीत हुई है क्योंकि धर्म हमारे पक्ष में था। ये भारत का एक पहला केस ऐसा है जहां पे एनआईए ने इन्वेस्टिगेट किया एटीएस को और ये फाइंड आउट किया कि एक्सप्लोजिव्स इम्प्लांट किए जा रहे हैं फॉल्सली इम्प्लीकेट करने के लिए एक एक्यूज को, जो कि आज तक नहीं देखा गया है ऐसा कृत्य, जो कि बहुत ही घिनौना कृत्य है, जिसकी वजह से 17 साल में आप देखिए, अब 17 साल तो वापस नहीं आ सकते, 17 साल का बहुत उत्पीड़न है, बट एक थोड़ा मलहम आज जरूर लगा है कि आज धर्म का विजय हुआ है। बम प्लांट करने का आरोप लगाया, एनआईए ने कहा कि एटीएस के अफसरों ने ही वो आरडीएक्स प्लांट किया। इससे बड़ा द्वंद जीवन का क्या हो सकता है? जिन ऑफिसर्स पे हम लोग ट्रस्ट करते हैं निष्पक्ष इन्वेस्टिगेशन करने के लिए, जब वही ऐसे घिनौने कृत्य करे तो आप क्या कहेंगे? आज धर्म की जीत हुई है। जैसे भगवान राम को भी 14 साल वनवास करना पड़ा, 17 साल के बाद हमें भी इंसाफ मिला है।